All right, before the break, we were visiting with Joe Pippen. Attorney Joe Pippen comes in and educates us all about estate law. I just had some questions for Joe about different states and taxes and deadlines, because we see in the real estate side, folks have come down here to buy a property because they can avoid a certain tax, or they're trying to get away from a certain tax in their jurisdiction. Have you seen people choose to move to you because you do a better job, or you're cheaper, or our state's different? What are the differences in terms of location?
Well, the state of Florida has no estate tax. So you can die in Florida, there are no estate taxes to be paid.
Unlike others.
Unlike others. And the federal exemption is 11.4 for everyone, no matter where you live. So there are a lot fewer people have estate tax issues. Some states have estate tax, and Florida doesn't. So that's one big advantage. And Florida also doesn't have a state income tax. So
yes.
A lot of tax reasons to move to Florida.
Sure.
So as far as estate planning documents, I've had a few clients who have financial planners here in Florida and in, you say, New York in this particular case. Mm-hmm. And my financial planner told one couple of what my fees were to do their documents, and they were quoted like a $5,000 fee to do a trust package, I'll call it, in New York. And I was going to do it for $895. So they came down and let me do their estate planning package for them. And then they had $4,000 to spend on vacation extra.
So something to shop for you guys out there.
Yeah,
it's not just something you just jump into and call the first person you know. You look around and see who can do the best job for you. Of course, Joe Pippen's been doing this for such a long time. And his long-running radio show, providing people with knowledge and information all the time. I want to hit everybody with our feel-good story real quick. Again, Brandon wants me to inject some positivity into your day every time we do the show, and this one is a great one because we've had some some food issues, some scarcity during this pandemic. So I don't know if you're familiar with Stephen Curry. He plays for the Golden State Warriors. He and his wife Aisha have served up 15 million meals during the pandemic. Actually, Steve and Aisha Curry's foundation has served 15 million meals to families in need during 2020. Three-time NBA champion Steph Curry and his wife launched Eat, Learn, Play in 2019 to focus on helping the youth in underserved communities. Before the pandemic, the foundation provided meals for approximately 25% of Oakland school children who have food insecurity, but that need had grown exponentially. He said, I've seen what COVID has done to the community at large. There's a steep learning curve to get into this business and set up to do this kind of work. We didn't have to go through that because we were already up and running. So he said, amidst the uncertainty and chaos, we're in a position to make an impact. So the foundation went from feeding 4,000 families a week in February to providing 300,000 meals a week. Eat, Learn, and Play also partnered with Chef Andre's World Central Kitchen to procure meals for more than 130 Oakland restaurants. So there you go. Feel-good stories. Stephen Curry doing good things out there, feeding folks in the Bay Area and all around the country to make sure that the pandemic doesn't claim too many victims. Thanks to Joe Pippen for coming in today. We got a few minutes left, Joe. I just want you to hit some, encourage folks to do this, as I always do, because I realize this is an underserved area of law, especially, but also how to get in touch with you, the best way to, how busy are you, how far out do we have to schedule to get your attention on this kind of thing?
Well, you could probably call my office today and see me next week.
Okay.
So I have a toll-free number for the audience. It's 1-800-226-3529. That's 1-800-226-3529. If they'd like my free estate planning poster sheet, which I've offered before on the show here, it's a large poster sheet on estate planning, 5 articles on one side, all of our contact information on the other. They could either call or send me an email to Joe, Joe, at attypip.com.
Great offers, lots of information on that sheet, Joe. What made you put that? That's an all-in-one kind of a document, huh?
I've had that. I've improved it and modified it, but I've been doing that same type of sheet for over 20 years now.
Yeah, that's a great asset.
If they'd like to learn more about the radio show, my website is attypip.com, and you can put /radio, and you go right to all my shows.
And what time does it air? What time does it tune in?
It's 8 o'clock on Saturday morning on 570, 910, 860, 930. That's Salem family of stations.
All over the place.
8 o'clock, yes.
Ask an Attorney, longest running show in the state of Florida, and great information and knowledge for you. Joe Pippen does that just like the Consumer Quarterback Show wants to be your advocate. Joe has certainly done that, going out of his way to provide some information and knowledge for you on the radio. I just had one. We mentioned Tony Soprano, the actor who played Tony Soprano, Gandolfini. He died without an estate plan in place. Can you think of? You said the Michael Jackson one before. I remember that was a crazy.
Well, Michael
one.
Jackson actually did a trust, but he didn't put his ranch there in California in it, so the ranch wound up going through probate.
And how long did it seems like that process, I was hearing about it in the news for quite a while.
Yeah. Probate, probate can last a long time. And then on Michael Jackson, of course, there are a lot of claims made on his it's going to take forever. And plus, he's got record sales continuing forever and ever and ever. And getting those flowing into a trust as well was a job.
What a challenge. I had no idea what to think about it that way. He's going to generate revenue forever.
Yeah.
So there's got to be somebody handling that.
Yep.
And there's tax to be paid as well.
Yeah, so you can name trustees, but eventually you might need a corporate trustee, that's going to be around.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Boy, what a difficulty. And all the attorneys involved, and what does he have, 10 siblings?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So everyone wants to figure out what's best for them.
The Jackson 5+5, right?
Yeah, I mean, what an unbelievable scenario. I've heard a few. Any more that you can think of? Again, we talked about Gandolfini a little bit.
Aretha Franklin died, I think, without a will.
Another massive star with a huge income potential after death.
Prince.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Prince died.
That's right.
Yeah, Channel 13 came out to interview me when Prince died because they thought that would be a good example of dying without a will and how important it is for people to do their estate planning.
I can imagine what a mess, and where to even begin. All the attorneys getting together on that one probably took a year to iron that out.
Well, more than that, I think. I think it's still ongoing.
Oh, my gosh. And we talked about the state of Florida being a little bit of an elderly community, our population kind of skewing that way. Does that influence your business at all? I mean, in terms of where you'd set up a business?
Well, as far as to set up an estate planning business?
Well, just the folks out there that want to know, is it competitive down here in your field, Joe?
Oh, there's a lot of estate planning attorneys around. And you just choose, and I would suggest that people interview a few, see who you're compatible with, and check out fees.
A great
and
way to check out Joe is this weekend, as it is every weekend on his radio show, Ask an Attorney Joe Pippen. Thanks so much for coming in.
My
Always
pleasure.
A great source of information for us, as we hope the Consumer Quarterback Show is for all the consumers in the Bay Area. Don't forget to check us out online at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.